Hello everyone, we're at Pocket Gamer Connects London 2024. I'm Dylan from HyprMX and I'm joined by Bozo from GameBiz. Bozo, welcome.
Thank you.
Seems to be an annual event. We have you on every year. This time last year, you're on for on. So maybe we get started and recap 2023, not only for you and your clients, but also what you saw across the industry.
Yeah, I think that 2023 was quite eventful with many things going on really on all fronts. When it comes to ad monetization specifically, I think we've seen a lot of networks move towards bidding, introducing this into their portfolio. Then from the regulator's perspective, I think that we've seen some things changing there as well. UA was evolving in a way that I think it was even more competitive and even harder to run profitable campaigns. And then just across the board, I think that game publishing and just game development is becoming more and more challenging on all fronts. So yeah, I think that 2023 was a challenging year for across the board. Yeah.
Sure. Well, I'm sure that's why you're here to help. You've, again, like I mentioned, you've done these interviews many times. And maybe you could get the audience up to speed on, what specifically you do and what GameBiz, what services you provide, things like that.
Absolutely. So I'd say that one of the core parts of our business is helping studios with their ad monetization, and this is something that my team and myself have been doing for the past 4 years. And a bit more. Apart from that, general advisory and consultancy is something that we have been doing from the early days. However, what we have introduced as a service last year was user acquisition. We recognize this as a big challenge, which I mentioned also previously. So this is something that we're trying to help studios with, to grow their games in a sustainable way. And apart from that, we also introduced services in the financial management and advisory. So these two areas are kind of pretty new for us, and we've developed it throughout 2023, and we'll definitely work on that throughout this year as well.
Yeah, no, a lot of growth, and growth seems to be the theme there. And we've had you on over the years. You mentioned the last 4 years. This is like a business that you've been helping to build out. Maybe you could walk us through kind of like a day in your life these days. Like what are you focused on to help improve the business? What are you doing on the day-to-day to kind of help your clients succeed and meet everything that they're looking to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that over these 4 years, my role has changed a lot. In the beginning, I was the only one in the team leading ad monetization. Now there's 4 of us in the team, and it's really a team effort and teamwork. So everyone kind of has their role, and we're trying to make sure that each of our clients, that we're taking care of their needs and we're maximizing their business. In terms of the things that I've been focusing on in the past few months, I have to say it was a CMP topic, consent management platform requirements by Google that have been introduced just like a few weeks ago, I would say. And this is something that has been taking a lot of my time and energy trying to figure all of the requirements out and to try to figure out the best way to implement this across the board.
Totally. Yeah, no, I know that's been a hot topic on everyone's mind in the industry that we're playing in. And part of that themality as well, you have an ad monetization background, and you mentioned it earlier with bidding, sort of a big thing in 2023. Maybe you could speak more on it, your thoughts on it. What does that landscape currently look like if you're an ad monetization manager? Is bidding really the thing that's going to propel things forward, or what is your overall take on it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that we can definitely see that bidding is taking a bigger share of a wallet, so to speak, and more impressions are being served through the bidding technology. From the big networks, most of them are already available through bidding. Of course, it depends also on the mediation platform that we're talking about. However, and I've talked about this a few times before, even though bidding technology is available, I'm not sure it is the right way to go every single time. And what we do for our clients and what I advise everyone to do is always to test. So the fact that the bidding is out there, it doesn't mean that it's always outperforming the non-bidding technology, the waterfall line items. And actually, in our experience, we've seen many times that it actually doesn't outperform it. So I think that even though it's here, there is still room to improve in how it actually works.
Totally. And staying on that same topic of ad monetization, I know you've been doing this for many years. The traditional formats of rewarded video, interstitials, banners, those obviously still continue to thrive. heading into the future in these new alternative formats like audio ads or in-game native, things like that. What is your take on all of them? Have you been able to implement and test? What do they look like from your point of view?
Yeah, so I'll be completely honest, and I haven't been impressed, and I'm not a big believer in these new formats. I feel like that the idea behind it is generally good. However, where we've seen in practice, the biggest challenge is the lack of demand. So there's simply not enough advertisers, especially outside of tier 1 countries, but even in tier 1, we haven't seen fill rate nearly close to where we want it to be. I think that said, with all due respect to companies that are already doing it right now, I think if one of the big guys would go into the market with, for example, in-game native ads or audio ads, that would be a game changer because they have a lot of leverage and a lot of advertisers on their books. So I think that if we see one of the big guys moving into this space, which I think we might see it, then it will be a game changer and something for developers to leverage moving forward.
Totally. Yeah, no. More forward-looking stuff as well, right? 2024 coming up. You're obviously a thought leader in the space. What are some predictions and ideas that you have, that you think are bubbling this upcoming year in 2024?
Yeah, I won't be brave, so I'll stick with the things that I feel like are kind of almost certain to happen. I think that more regulation is something that we've seen it over the years, and it's something that's probably coming in 2024. So for example, as I mentioned, Google started requiring a CMP implementation or a TCF 2.2 consent string in order for them to show ads. I would say that moving forward, there's no reason why other networks wouldn't follow them, since Google did the heavy lifting with starting this requirement. So I think that this might be something that we will see later in 2024, and just in general focus on privacy, push from the regulators to have more control over how the gaming experience looks, how we're processing the data of the users and so on. This is something that I think more publishers will be aware of and will be facing during 2024.
Perfect, yeah, and that's why they have you to kind of help them consult with their needs and stuff like that. And last question, of course, forward-looking as well. What can we expect from you in GameBiz this upcoming year?
Yeah, so I think that we will try to focus on things that we really have expertise in and where we're strong. So I definitely say that we're staying within ad monetization space. We will grow our user acquisition, which we started last year, as well as financial management and advisory. So I think we'll stick with the things that we know and try to bring the benefits of our knowledge to our clients.
Amazing. Well, definitely looking forward to it. Bozo, I appreciate the chat. Thank you. And as always, enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.